Hello and welcome to Curious Conversations. We are your hosts, Carly and Mandy, and today we're discussing all things drinking.
Yep, this should be
So this
fun.
should be fun. Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
exactly.
Um, I had a couple of questions I thought to kick us off.
Okay.
Mandy, do
Yes.
you prefer, I'll say, a fine wine, maybe a cold beer, or something a little harder?
Well, I used to hate beer, like hated beer, but now I like a beer. I'm just beer picky,
Yes.
and I'm talking about having a beer, a
Uh
beer.
huh.
Yeah, that's for
Yeah,
me.
I can get a few sips into it and then it just doesn't taste great.
Yeah, you're gonna have it really cold, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
Really cold on a hot day, I guess. Yeah, I think probably my preference between the three would be a really good glass of wine. Um, yeah, I like my wines.
I
I
was
know
gonna
you're
say
not a big fan.
you're into that. I don't know much about that. I just, I have had some wines that I liked and I knew, okay, I like this. But that's not always a go-to for me. It's just a little simple beer every once in a while. But I've got
Yeah,
experience to talk on all these things. So we'll just, run through
I
this.
love it. All right, next question. Um, do you get sick if you overdrink?
Yeah, these days it would look more like a headache.
Okay.
But back in the day, yeah, I had some pretty sick experiences. Definitely not worth it. Yeah, what about you?
Yeah, so I definitely don't push myself to that point anymore.
Yeah.
It's not as fun when you're older,
No,
I
no,
will
it's
say,
not.
but yes, I'm definitely a lightweight for sure. And I respond differently to different alcohols. I don't know if you do that.
I do. I do. And some will just give me a headache and some might make me
Mm.
nauseous. And I remember back in the day that everything seemed like it made me fun, but now it makes me moody or angry or, distant. It's just literally not the experience that you think, "Oh, she's drinking." No, it's really not fun. It's not fun like that anymore.
Yeah, so if I drink a beer, I just kind of mellow out, and then I get sleepy. So I'm definitely
Yes.
not the life of the party. Wine does make me a little chatty. I'll share too much information, but any kind of liquor, very quickly I'm going to start, I'm going to break out in a dance, but not long after I'm puking. So I just don't like to go there too much.
Yeah. No, not for me.
Okay, well, I think that I think it changes throughout the years.
Yes.
The way your body responds definitely changes. We've talked about that. My body does that with dairy now. I've hit that age where even dairy upsets me. Um,
The dairy
I
doesn't like you.
No, not always. So I have something interesting. I looked up for this podcast. I looked up the 20 drunkest cities in the United States.
Okay.
Um, Very, very surprised by the results. And we're going to share those with you guys. But before we dive in, we do want to share with you this week's curious dish. So, this is part of our show where we dish about the most curious thing we've seen this week. So, Mandy, you want to kick us off?
Okay. Well, I guess what I saw this week, and it's perfect fit. Like, I can't believe this falls together, but I just had a new book released this week. So, yeah, well, it's
I
actually
know.
last week. It's within the 7 days, right? So we're still in that time period. But it's called
Excited.
Spider. You know all about this book, but the reason that it fits is because it's not a spooky book, it's not a thriller or anything like that. Sometimes people think that's what that title is. Spider. It sounds dangerous. It's more realistic fiction dealing with five main characters who basically spend their weekends drinking. They're trying to drink away their problems, and it starts off fun, right? It's like what we're talking about. Starts off fun, and they're just partying. These are young adults. We're talking 19 to 22, for the most part. And, it goes south, and the book goes south. And it's not just because of the drinking, but it's relationship issues. It's a lot of it's a lot of layers. So you're sort of digging through those character layers, and it's just all these webs of issues, hence the spiders. But each character has like their drink of choice. And so that
Yes.
was kind of fun to write, because the main the girl character, her name's Sadie. So she likes what's considered a cheap alcohol. It's Canadian Leaf. Are you familiar with that?
Yep. A little bit. I've heard of it.
A little bit. So yeah, the step up from that's Canadian Mist.
Yes.
But then, so one character is basic Jack Daniels, and they all sort of represent the characters and what they're like. One's tequila, one's oh, here's one. Snake bite. Do you know snake bite?
I do not.
No, that doesn't sound like a good choice, right? So it's actually a combination of a lager and I believe a oh, what's the word I'm looking for? Like a cider. And
Okay.
so in the UK, it's actually illegal because the combo is so of the one versus the other, like the percentage is off.
Oh.
So I guess it's a easier drunk, but that's like one of the characters' drinks. And yeah, I'm not touching any snakes.
Yeah, that sounds dangerous.
Yeah, but that's fun writing all those things, even though it's not a fun book, it's not a happy book. It's a very interesting book in my opinion, but it's definitely uses that to kind of share, where the people are in life and what their personality is like through the mention of the alcohol. So anyway, there's my little plug. It is a connection.
Yeah. So Spider Flies is a great book. I have read it.
Thank you.
It's very good. Yeah. But I actually like that you've worked on your characters in such detail that, I mean, they have their own drinks,
Yeah,
but through reading it, you feel like you can connect with each character. And I think that's very important for that book because you need to have that connection. You can kind of feel what they're going through throughout the
yeah.
entire book, and it draws you in on a much deeper level. So I think you did a
Thank
fantastic
you.
job with that.
Well, thank you. Yeah, you were with me the whole time. So you were reading the when I was just still having beta readers and got to read the manuscript. It's only been done a million times since then.
It feels like I watched you have a kid and raise it, and I got to watch it. So
It's a little spider baby.
yeah, a little. Uh,
Yeah.
okay, mine is it was when I was shopping for you. So
Okay.
a little further into the show, we actually purchased beverages for each other to try.
Yeah.
While I was shopping for you, I came across something, and this is not what I bought for you, just so you know. But I'm going to hold it up to the screen because this is, if you are not following our YouTube channel, it's a great time to do so. These beverages that are sold with a little extra something in them. Have you
Okay.
seen
No.
it?
No. What is extra? Like, what does it say? I couldn't read what is the
It's Johnny
title?
Max, and it's got a little marijuana leaf on it. And they have
Oh,
everything: root beer, ginger beer, pineapple, watermelon. Um, but it has the Delta stuff in it. Have you
okay.
seen that? Like you can buy like gummies, or I think you can order, it looks like marijuana. I'm not really sure. It's to see it in my hometown store. It was like, wait, what? But do
Yeah.
you remember the Bob Marley teas?
Yep.
They had something in them that just kind of, you just chilled out a little bit. I don't know what that was, but I think this is actual like, this is like Delta 9 or whatever that stuff is. But yeah, you can just buy that and drink it.
Well, I don't know. I like that packaging. But so I've never really been one that wanted to be chill. Like I don't I don't work that way. Um, Even back when it was beyond a single beer, it was not to be relaxed. So
Yeah.
it didn't really hit me that way. And so, no judgment on or anything on what anybody does, but I will be the last person to engage in any of that or even be able to speak intelligently about,
Right.
what's what with any of that because I don't, the most relaxed I want to be is my Mick Ultra, it's like, that's it for me.
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
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 I got too much to get done.
I like to chill, but yeah, I like to be functional. That's very, very important to me.
Yeah. I don't want to feel altered. I don't
Yeah,
like the idea of feeling altered
absolutely.
for me.
Well, again, we looked up some statistics. And basically I was really shocked by what I got back. Um, I looked up the 20 drunkest cities in the United States, and this
Okay.
is per capita. Um, 10 of them were all from the same state. Can you believe
Is,
that?
is it Georgia?
It's not Georgia, actually. I was surprised that
Okay.
Georgia
Yeah.
wasn't
I
on the
don't
list.
know. I don't know. You didn't tell me this.
It's Wisconsin. Is that
Really?
strange?
Huh.
Yeah. So
Is
this
that
was
like
interesting to me.
a sporty thing? Is
I
that
mean,
like a football thing?
maybe.
Maybe.
I
Yeah.
originally I thought Milwaukee.
Hmm.
Milwaukee is the largest city in the state of Wisconsin.
Hmm.
And Milwaukee is kind of known for beer.
Right. Yeah.
Actually, Milwaukee's history is heavily influenced by German descendants, or German immigrants, I'm sorry, from the 19th century. And so Germans like to
Beer.
drink.
Yeah. There's the beer.
Yeah. Well, I really thought that there would be a whole lot more going on in Milwaukee, but they didn't even make the chart, surprisingly.
Really? Hmm.
Yeah, I thought that was strange. But according to it's populationreview.com is where I got this information from.
Okay.
It's Green Bay, Wisconsin is at the top of the list with approximately 26.5% of adults reporting that they drink in excess.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So is
How
that like
odd.
so they're more of a party town or does that mean they're more of a bored town? Like, are they so bored that they're just drinking or they're just got a little wild streak? I don't know.
Yeah. I
Hmm.
think it's, yeah, it's the thing to do, maybe. I don't
Yeah.
know.
I don't know either. I'm not sure
Very
what that
curious
is.
information, though.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, sometimes you can live in certain areas and it feels like it's your area.
Absolutely.
Sure.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, and we want to absolutely go ahead and just promote safety.
Sure.
I think that's important. Being
Yep.
responsible.
Yep. Absolutely. Be of age. Don't drink and drive.
Mhm.
All those things that you think are just practicalities that some people don't follow the rules, but safety first.
Yep. Yeah. Be responsible for
Yeah,
sure.
be responsible. Yeah,
So you have something in our notes, and I don't even know what it is. I think it's pronounced absinthe.
yeah. Are you not
What is that?
familiar with that?
No.
Yeah, it's always a surprise on here because like we have some notes and some are solid and some are scattered that we give surprises for each other. We're waiting. Like, I don't know. Tell me the drunk city. I don't know. Um, it's always fun. I like those I like that it's not all ironed out and
Uh-huh. I do
you know
too. I do too. But I
predictable.
read that word and I was like, don't look it up. Just wait.
Yeah. So you can look it up after this.
Okay.
It's actually very interesting and kind of scary to me. It's supposed to be, it's almost like you were talking about a little something in your alcohol. It's an alcohol that can make people hallucinate.
Oh,
Yeah. So back in the day, it's I'm trying to think. There are people, I was trying to think of who I just read that say they still drink this and that in certain countries they have the true absinthe. But I think that it's not really the real stuff from,
Mm,
you know, beyond, but it has been known to make people kind of crazy.
nope.
And yeah, and it is rumored that the band Marilyn Manson, that there was some drinking of that during the recording sessions of one of their albums, and got a little out there with um drinking that. So it's like a beyond drunk.
Ugh,
Yeah,
wow.
yeah. And may or may not have caused a particular artist to cut off their ear. So, yeah. So do you know all about this? Like
I do not.
I'm gonna read like the legit and not Mandy's version.
Okay.
So, yeah, I didn't know if you would look or not, but I will go ahead and share this with you. So it is green too. Like it's green. So it's with, am I saying this right? Anise. You know what I'm talking about? Flavor anise. Is that the right way? I've never known how to say that. Um, anyway, it's made with leaves and flowers. It's not like when you think of um like whiskey or bourbon. It's not with grains or anything like that. So it's got sweet fennel. It's several things. Um, anyway, it's known as the green fairy because of its color, but it's anyway, it's looks like the alcohol volume is pretty high, and so it's supposedly illegal. So when these people say they get it in other countries, I guess that's supposed to be the legal version, but it was
Um,
like something popular in the 1800s. And it's got a, they say there's like a high rate of crime connected to that.
really?
So, yeah, so it can make you like sleepy, and but it's also can make some people have a clear-headed feel, like they're lucid drunkenness.
Okay.
Yeah, it's, I mean, it's weird. There's like a ton of stuff to read on this. So, I think you need to check that out.
Okay, I'm gonna look that up. Mainly because I want to see the color. I wonder how it gets its
Oh, the
color. Maybe just
color,
the
it's like a jello green.
oh, all
Yeah, it's like
right.
a, yeah, you have to look that up. It's like if you melted green jello, because it's a very vivid color. And I would be interested to see, anyway, that in person. I wouldn't drink it because, but yeah, it's supposedly the reason why Vincent Van Gogh cut off his ear.
Okay.
Had a little absinthe, had a little too much.
Yeah. Oh
Yes,
my
but it's
gosh.
like it's not in the category of the other things. It's its own little
Sure.
spooky drink.
Yeah, you tell me and I might see something that's not actually there. No, I'm out.
Yeah, I don't want to see that. I
Oh,
don't want to see
that
that.
sounds terrible to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah. And I think
Okay.
there were like I think there were a lot of people that got into that was kind of like their thing back in the day. We're talking 1800s, early 1900s. It's kind of creepy to think about.
Right.
Like I wonder about those crimes. I never really looked into that part. But if it makes you where maybe you cut your ear off, I don't know. That might be one of those things that's passed down through the years and not real at all.
I'm gonna have to look that up though because that's interesting. That's curious.
It is definitely curious. Yeah, I thought I'd throw that in there with the barley and rye, just for curiosity's sake.
Okay, so have you been to a brewery?
Well, excuse me. Yes, I have. Have you?
I have. They smell bad. Do you think that? Like, do you think they stink?
Yeah, it's a yeah, I think so. It's kind of a heady smell. And I used to hate the way beer smelled because and tasted, because it was like I said it was like ruined bread. Like moldy
Huh?
bread. You
Bad
open up
bread. Yes.
your sunbeam and something went south, and it's like a, yeah, I didn't like that. But yeah, all that when you're in one of those places, it's kind of a rich smell that's, yeah.
Hmm. It can be a lot to take in.
Yeah.
Now, Now, one thing I have been to is a bunch of wineries, of
I
course.
thought so. Yeah.
Mhm.
So I have not done that.
Really?
Mm-mm. Am I missing
So,
out?
I mean, it's fun. It is I started at the Georgia winery and they have very, very sweet wines, which is how I started drinking wine. Almost like juice. You have to be
Hmm.
really careful. But I did the tour in the back. They take you back and you can see the big giant vats, I guess is what
Yeah.
they're in. You can watch how they put the labels on, and it's very interesting. They talk you
Yeah.
through what, the different stages are, and there's a whole lot that goes into winemaking. So that's the only time I've toured a winery, but it's fun. You can go and do your little tastings, and most of the wineries that I've been to have, some type of food, little charcuterie boards or little
Hmm.
sandwiches. Some have food trucks. We actually have one very close to where you and I live that is
Oh,
fantastic.
okay.
It's fun. It makes for a fun day.
So I did see the I Love Lucy episode where she stomped the grapes. Does that count?
You can do that. This skeeves me out a little bit. But the Georgia winery, they used to have a grape stomping day where you could go, and I'm just thinking, I
Yeah,
don't need any feet.
feet.
I
Yeah,
need
I
no
don't
feet in
know.
my grapes.
Was that did that mean you were like the unpaid worker,
Yeah,
or was that just for fun and they threw that in the trash?
they make it a special event you pay for, but that's free labor.
Okay. Well, yeah. Don't know if I want to put my feet in food, but
Right.
maybe, maybe. I don't know.
Well, as we mentioned, we're doing something a little different, way different. So I'm going to go ahead and plug our YouTube channel one more time
Yeah.
because if you're not watching, if you're just listening, you need to give it a shot. And this is a great episode to go watch because
Yes.
we're going to do a little taste test. I
I
think it's
know.
going to be fun.
I'm excited for this. It's we're all having this experience together. In fact, these are wrapped like they're surprising. So you wrap these up for me, and
Yes.
we did two surprises for each other. We're not doing shots of whiskey, guys. This is
No,
not that kind of show. Okay?
no, no
We're
shots.
not doing that. Nope.
So we have two little drinks for each other. We don't know what the other purchased, and we're just going to give it a try. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So, Mandy, I think you should kick us off.
Yeah, I kind of saw your eyes. It looked like you were picking me first. Okay. So drink responsibly, guys. We already said that. I've got a little one and I've got a big one. And I'm not guzzling this. Don't get excited. This is not obnoxious. This is
This is a taste test, guys.
not college.
We're
And
not chugging.
so okay, so there's a small one, and this is an unveiling here. I'm gonna react blindly. We didn't tell each other what we had for each
Yeah,
other.
no
So
idea.
you find out when I find out. There's a small one that did not need to be refrigerated, and then there's a larger one here that did. Which one do you want me to try first? I'm
You know
open.
what? Let's kick off with that small one.
The small one.
Yes.
Small one for the win. Okay. I'm gonna open with you guys. Like I'm trying to stay out of the blurred
Yeah.
background so I can see what we've got here. You surprised me with this. I didn't think to wrap up. I just had just a paper bag wrap. Like, let's see. Let's see. It's like, well, it's upside down. Upside
Well,
down.
yeah, of course.
Okay. It's like a bit of more birthday celebration. Oh my gosh. We talked about this before. Okay, so let me get in the light here. Freak
We have talked
show.
about this on a past episode.
Yeah, like an early one. I'm
Yes.
excited. Okay, this is something you've tried.
Yes. So this is Freak Show wine. Um, I'm a big wine fan. I won't say that Freak Show is my favorite tasting wine
Okay, I'm
at
gonna
all.
pop it.
Um, but I will say I love their labels. I love all of them.
Yes, this is going on my this is going on my wall. This so it smells nice.
It's clean. It's It's a very
It's
clean wine. It's not very harsh.
it smells ciderish.
I could
Is that
see
a
that.
word?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. I'm no connoisseur. Let me see. What do you say? I'm picking up on notes of, or is that perfume? Um,
You
what do
say
you
that with
say? What do you wino say?
confidence. For me, okay, so that's their Cabernet Sauvignon. I would say it's fruity. It has notes of different fruits, more like berries. Um, it
Blackberry?
has a little bit of a dry finish, but not too much.
See, I don't know what I'm tasting. So to me, I taste like a blackberry meets a fig, meets a peach.
Fig, I didn't even think about fig.
What did we
I
say?
see
One
that.
sip, and I've had three. Um, this is all, but this is being practical. I'm trying to pick up on the flavor. I couldn't love this. Like I didn't know you could get them in this little. Hold on. I don't like that blur. Like that's messing me up. So look at this. This is so
See,
my
I love
thing.
their labels.
I didn't know you could get these in this little tiny. So now I've got the warm. I'm going to tell every single thing I do. Now I've got the warm in my throat. So when I did used to, I guess when I had some beverages when I was younger, I would tend to get real chatty. And anybody who knows me knows I'm already real chatty.
Nah.
So it's probably enough is enough, right? This is so cool. I'm
Yeah,
excited
I
about
I
this label.
love I love the labels of those and even their little cans. Like they're just really, really cute. Um, Probably, I
Look
mean,
at that.
just not my favorite wine, but I buy some wines for the labels. I know you're not supposed to do that. You know who actually has a really good wine
Mm.
and you can get it from the grocery store less than 15 bucks? It is Snoop Dogg. Have you seen that he makes wine now?
No, he does it all. Like he is the best. I admire him not just because of his music, the marketing skills on that man.
Yes,
Love it.
absolutely.
Love
Yeah,
it.
he's producing wine and his Cali Red is very, very good.
Really?
Yep.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
this may very well be my first what did you say this kind was? What did you say it
Cabernet.
was? Yeah. So I don't think I've had that before. I don't
Okay.
think so because I am like I'm dumb about wine. So I've had fruity and I've had white wines.
Mhm.
Um I think I like the kind that you literally serve with fruit. Um
Mhm.
one time I had a peach wine that was good, tastes like candy.
Yeah,
And so, I'm probably not the person, I'm probably a waste on a wine tour, is what I'm telling you right now. But
got it. Got it. We
anyway,
still we still should go on one though.
okay. Okay. We'll put that
Okay.
on the list. It's
I'm
you
reaching
now.
in. I'm
It's you.
picking one.
Okay. Yeah. It's going to be a surprise. They're both the same size, right? Do
Okay.
they feel, do they feel like the same
Yep.
size?
I mean, they feel the same size.
Okay. There's reasoning behind both.
All right. Oh,
Okay.
Captain Morgan's
Yes.
Long Island iced tea.
Okay, but it's not. It's not. There's no
Okay.
rum. There's no all the things in that. That's a malt beverage because everything
Yes.
that's in a can is a malt beverage,
Right.
right? But the story that goes along with that is the Long Island iced tea was my first legal drink.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't go for like a
But
banana
not these.
daiquiri. Hmm?
Not these. You're talking about an actual Long Island
Like
iced
an
tea or the
actual one was my first legal drink at a club in Buckhead in Georgia. Yep. Yep. And so you tell them you're 21 and then they really load you up, right? So it was a strong drink with very little good flavor to it. But I was sharing that with you with a better, hopefully a better delivery than what a Long Island iced tea is like to me. It's like you got in the kitchen cabinets and just mixed everything together.
Yeah, it tastes to me a regular Long Island tastes like bad lemonade.
Yes, it's a lot of like just like in
A
the
little
mouth.
a little
Yeah.
shocking. Okay.
So
Well,
I
I'm
have
gonna
not
try
had
this one.
this. I have not had what you're having right now. That's just like the lighter version of it. That was just my story for my first legal
Okay.
drink. Are you gonna spit it?
I'm not going to spit it.
What does it make you
Okay.
think of? Lemonade?
Lemonade, yes. But it almost tastes like there's some tea in there. Like, do you ever drink Monsters? You know, they have like the lemonade iced tea Monster. It has
No,
that same
I've never had a
flavor.
monster. I've never had a monster. I've never had a full energy drink. Are you hang out with
Oh,
me all the time? Do you think I need that? Do you think
no,
that's not
no.
annoying?
Maybe it would have like the opposite effect. Like you would sleep so good after a good Red Bull.
Yeah. I recently had a monster water though. They make canned water now, just like
Yeah.
Liquid Death. Yeah, Liquid Death. Yeah, they're cool cans too. So I've got the
Yay.
can, for fun.
I'm all about the cans.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've not had this. You probably should try it. It's
It's
good.
good.
It's a little bit of a tea flavor, mostly a lemonade flavor. The aftertaste has like a, oh, you just drank something. You just had
Okay.
something. So there's a little
Yeah.
bit of an aftertaste. But I think it's good.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
there you go.
All right. You ready for your number two?
Yeah. Are we moving on? Let's see here. Surprise present. Oh, it's upside down again. I did that twice. Yeah, I went years without having a single drop of alcohol. Also went years without having any caffeine. I went years without
Oh,
having bread, without sugar. And
good
I was
for
at my,
you.
yeah, I was in a real, I honestly can't get it open. I can't get it open. You have done me in here. Um, yeah. So when I took that chance to drink again, it was just like very, very small thing. Let's see what this is. Oh, Blackberry Smoke American Lager. It's a very cool can.
Again with the
That's
can.
I know this looks like you might know what I like. Um, okay, so when people say a lager versus a ale versus a beer versus a blonde, a on and on and on, what does all that mean? Can you
I have
tell
no
somebody
idea.
that doesn't know?
Yeah, I have no idea. There's like IPAs, and I just found out what that even stands for, and I can't remember.
Indian
Um,
Pale Ale.
look
Oh,
at you.
look at me.
Look
And
at
you.
you. Yeah, I don't know the difference in all of those things.
Yeah, I don't know either. So I'm looking at this can here. On the back of it. It's got like a new realm and um oh, it's probably been a while since I read like any warnings on any of this stuff. They changed the warnings and stuff on alcohol and tobacco products over the years, and they look different, than they used to. You notice
Yes.
that? This has a
Yes.
little story. Let's see. I need glasses, so at part of the story. It's good. I think it says it's good.
I
Um,
tried it.
oh, so you have tried this one? Okay.
I
So
have.
you tried both of them. Well, let's see what Mandy thinks. I like the can.
I loved the can.
Okay, now this is a pleasant smell.
Yep.
Oh, that's nice.
Liked
It's
it.
I wasn't sure if it was gonna be but I think we like the same beer. So
Yeah.
um
Yeah. So I drink Mick Ultra,
yes.
and you do too.
Yes.
And it has that kind of like that light beer flavor.
Oh yeah, I would buy this. I would
Mhm.
buy this. Now I have gotten to where I like to, if we travel, I like to try out, the little local beers. But I have gotten those before and it was really not good. This is mild. This is mild. I
Yes.
wasn't sure with the can like this if it was going to be something like, like that strong. Sometimes there's like
Yep.
a strong beer taste. But yeah, that's pleasant. And it's a cool can. Is
I
that local?
loved the can.
Was
I
it a
actually, yeah,
local?
I picked that up from a local place. They do wines, they do olive oils, so you're probably familiar with that as soon as I say it. You don't you don't do olive oil, I know that.
No. Yeah, that was not
But
a face for that. That was yeah, I'm allergic to olives. Anybody
that's
who
so sad.
cares. Yeah, but I don't
Yeah.
miss them. Like I don't care. So it's just it's not like something I love, but
Right.
it's so in so many things I have to watch it. But so I would definitely drink this over the wine, but
Mhm.
the can of the wine is my favorite. This is what I
Love
bring to
it.
the table, literally, is that I like how something looks.
Yeah,
Okay.
that whole don't judge a book by its cover, but I will buy some wine and beer based off of the label, 100%.
Yeah, these are both fun. Thank you.
Are you
All
ready
right.
for my next?
Yeah. What do you got?
Oh, it has a different top. I can feel that. What is
Okay.
this?
I got this because it's pretty. I got this because
It
of the packaging. And it's a different kind of alcohol packaging. I don't even know what that looks like. Can you read that aloud,
Hello,
ma'am?
my name is Nemo's Nutcracker Blue Colada.
Yeah. So I don't know if that's a promise or if it's gonna hit you hard or what, but it was such a pretty color that made me think of the ocean, which made me think of you. And then it's got the coconut, and we talked about coconuts several times before. So, and you're from Florida.
So
Does it
you've
smell
not
good?
had one of these?
Mm-mm. No, I got both of these just on stories, not experience.
Oh, I kind of need you to smell this one. It
I
smells like
almost leaned in.
here, I'll hold it up. You just sniff.
Okay, I'm getting notes of coconut.
Yes, you got it. It's
Yeah.
coconut. It smells so good. And I do
Okay.
love the ocean and all
Yeah,
things
you like all
beachy.
those things, but it looks like a juice to go. Is it good?
That's too good. That could be a problem.
Is it
I
sweet?
taste no alcohol in that.
Mm. Unless it's like 1%, then maybe that's like five.
It is 8, but you
Oh,
can't taste it. Like there is no like that harsh after like that bite is
yeah.
not there. It tastes like a really good juice. Tastes
Yeah,
like
it
juice.
looks like a juice or like a muscle milk kind of like I just had my workout and now I have this nutcracker.
Okay. I like
Okay.
that a
So
lot.
maybe you've got two possibilities there.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna need to check out some other flavors.
Okay. Do you see my face? Like when I'm in the light, you can hold on. There's some pink. That's what I do with alcohol is I get pink. There used to be at Applebee's. I worked at Applebee's long time ago. We talked about that before one time too. Um, they had a tequila lime chicken. Do you remember that?
Hmm. And it was
It
on a
would,
bed of rice.
yeah, it would make me
Mm.
very red and make my chest very red. So it was something
Really?
in that, yeah, something in that sauce. I don't
Okay.
know.
I'm a big tequila fan, I will say that.
I haven't
I like
tasted
tequila.
tequila in forever, for forever, like a really long time. Um, but it's I liked it mixed. I couldn't, just could not. So this was fun.
Okay. That was a whole lot of fun.
Yeah.
Um, I want to tell you something that I learned. It's a little rhymey rhyme, just in case anybody out there needs to
Okay.
have this rhyme in their life.
All right. Give me a rhyme.
Um, sometimes you have to drink in a certain order and
Mm.
it keeps you from getting sick. And so somebody told me a cute little rhyme to help me remember. It's liquor before beer, you're in the clear. Beer before liquor, never been sicker. Have you heard that?
Okay. No, I haven't heard that one. I heard another one.
First.
Liquor before beer, never fear. Beer before liquor, get drunk quicker.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah. So it's like the snake. What's the saying about the snake with the black and red touching or something? Do you know what I'm talking
Red
about?
touch black, friend named Jack. Red
Sure.
touch yellow, kill that fellow.
Yeah, something like that. It's the same kind of idea. We have to dumb this down for ourselves, right? Don't touch the snake and don't drink too much.
Yeah.
That's really the
Yeah.
point.
I don't care what color the snake is. I don't wanna touch it. It's fine.
Yeah, yeah. Uh,
I
okay, so
definitely Yeah, I definitely am not mixing a whole lot of alcohol, so I don't have to remember
no,
that too often, but just, if you're out there and you need to know, yeah,
yeah.
absolutely.
So we hopefully have learned by our age how to be smart about things, to experience things in moderation,
Yeah.
right? Moderation. But let's talk about maybe when we didn't.
Mm. Okay.
Okay.
Alright, I
So
like it.
yeah, have you warmed up with your small sips that maybe you
Yeah.
can? Oh, can we say that small sips bring loose lips?
Oh, I like that one too.
This is why I don't drink. It doesn't really doesn't take much. I'm making rhymes. I might rap in a minute. You don't know what I might do it.
I
So
would love that, by the way.
well, not everybody has that same love. So we're just gonna we're gonna stick to plan. So I was thinking of a few different questions like okay, I said my first legal drink. What was your first legal drink?
First legal.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. Yeah, I have no idea. Um, I mean, when I turned 21, I was married and I worked all the time, so I have no idea.
Oh,
I
well, you were
probably
legal
just
way before.
Yeah. Yeah, I probably just, went and bought something for the heck of it,
Right.
just
Yeah.
to say, because I could.
Yeah, so that early adulthood looks different for different people and different experiences, right? Like some people who are still living at home, like I was still living at home. So that was like a big thing for me. And I've been with other people that was like the big unveiling. But like, my mom was married and had me by 17. So,
Right.
adulthood came early. And the legal drinking age used to be 18 here. Used to be 18
Really?
here. I'm that old. I can share that experience. But yeah, it used to be younger. And I have some thoughts on that too. But I'm not going to get political because we're just like having some talk about fun things.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, that's probably wasn't a big deal for you then. But let's move on to the next one then.
Okay.
So, okay, I want to ask you what the worst decision you've made drinking. That's a little bit much to be sharing, unless you just want to get crazy with it. But I was wondering what's the worst drink you've had? Like, what's the worst tasting drink you've ever had?
Mm. So, I just hate all things bourbon,
Okay.
and I don't know why. I just can't stand it. Um, yeah, not a fan at all.
So, do you feel the same way about whiskey? Because they're kind of put together sometimes, but the
Yep.
whiskey is more like corn, right? The whiskey is corn, and where bourbon is okay. Y'all, I'm not here to point out all the real specific things about this, but I know they're different. So one's sweeter than the other, and whiskey, whiskey, I'm okay with certain kinds, but I don't really drink that ever anymore. But bourbon had like I don't know, a little thing to it. Is that what it is to you? Like
Huh? There's
not for
something that
me.
I just don't like about it. And even, some people will they'll put their wine in barrels, whiskey barrels or bourbon barrels, to let it age. I can't drink it. Just don't like it.
So I've been to the Jack Daniel's distillery, and
Okay.
that whole place smells just like that taste, and it's a lot. But now I can have that mixed with something, but I'm never going to be the person that drinks shots of anything again. That was young me, that was a different me. I'm not really interested in taking back a bunch of shots of anything.
Yeah, let me ask you this. Have you ever had moonshine?
Why, yes, I have. Yeah,
It's
so
it's
I
rough.
had like the kind in the um, sort of touristy type places. I've had that. And
Mhm.
then I've had like at somebody's house homemade. Yeah, and that was actually
Wow.
served at a dinner party, and I'm talking a fancy dinner party, and then came, like, the mason jar, which was kind of surprising, and you know how people will, like, pair things with alcohol, and they'll this was supposed to be, like, the finisher, I guess, I don't know what was but that I had tasted like rubbing alcohol smells. It was
It's
not, like, Tennessee
it's
fun.
bad.
Yeah, yeah.
I even tried someone had, cherries that had been soaked in it. Oh, just ugh,
Well,
it was bad.
that's one of my worst experiences was the whole cherry bomb thing. Um, I'm going to blame a lot of this stuff on naivety. When I was young, I didn't have a lot of experience with alcohol. I didn't do that kind of thing when I was a teenager, like a lot of people do, getting a little taste here or there. So by the time I did have some, I didn't really know what I was in for. So, really made a lot of bad choices.
Nah.
Cherries literally taste like cherries for a minute, and, they'll hit you with a punch. They'll hit you with a bad punch. Um, Not
Well,
good.
you said mentioned a bad decision you made that involved drinking.
Mhm.
I will absolutely share mine. Um, for some reason, little old me thought that I could outdrink my dad. Now, my dad is big, tough guy, big, burly guy, um, absolutely can handle some liquor. And we decided, let's do tequila shots.
Mm-mm.
And I was
Mm-mm.
gonna outdo my dad in tequila shots. I got
What?
to 8.
What? How did you do that?
I I was so, so incredibly sick. I'm pretty sure I had alcohol poisoning.
Oh
It
my
was so
gosh.
bad. It was so bad. Yeah, I think I made it to 8. I'm pretty sure my dad just blew past me like it was nothing. Um, Terrible, terrible decision, but, it's a memory. It's a memory I have with my
Mhm.
dad, and I just tell people, "Yeah, I tried to outdrink my dad," I got nowhere near it, not even close.
Oh
Yeah,
gosh.
that was a bad night. It was bad.
Yeah. Well,
Mhm.
I'll share this then. Really bad decision was, public drinking can be dangerous to overdrink in public. And I'm not even talking about driving, I'm talking about on foot in New Orleans. And like I said, this has been a million years ago, but I did have a time when you go to New Orleans and back in the day, long ago, um, when things were not all out there, you didn't know what was all there. You didn't have the way to look this up. So you go to a town and everything's new to you, everything's fresh. You didn't have a way to
Mhm.
look on the internet or anything like that. I get there and everything's like in a machine, like slushy top machine, everything.
Mm,
And seems like something you can drink. This is okay, right? This is fun. Um, yeah, I got
just an
really,
icy.
got yeah, had a really bad experience with that. That could have been a dangerous experience. So sometimes it's not all giggles, right? Sometimes we
Oh,
can, and that's why I would advise anybody be really careful because, yeah, sometimes it's worse than just throwing up, right? That's,
yeah, absolutely. I mean, there are definite consequences, and not
mm-hmm,
just, I'm not meaning even getting in a car and driving or putting
sure,
yourself in a dangerous situation, but, you've gotta watch, uh, who's around when you may have a friend that's recovering or you have kids watching. You do have to be very careful, and so we always talk about, safety aspects with our kids, and, um, I've got kids that are over 21 and, they hung out with me for their 21st birthday. It was, "Okay, let's go to a winery and try some stuff."
mm-hmm.
But yeah, you could pay consequences that you never imagined, and
Oh
so
yeah,
it's
yeah,
important to be
definitely.
careful.
Well, you're putting yourself in a possibly, vulnerable state, you
Yeah.
know, when you're not at your strongest, you're not able to make the best decisions, and, there were some times where I can laugh it off and be like, "Oh, I remember that time," but then there's some things that I think back on and I'm like, "Man, you messed up, girl. That was not wisdom," as my grandmama would say. That was not wisdom.
Yeah.
So, Yeah, that was a bad one. Um, but I will say that the signature drink for New Orleans, the Hurricane, is probably one of my favorite drinks, mixed drink I had ever had. Have you ever
Okay.
had one?
No, and I've been to New Orleans.
Okay. Well, um, it's good. It's a mixture of things like a couple different kinds of rum. I think it has something like guava juice or some other kind of juice other than just like the pineapple thing. It's not like a daiquiri. I don't know. And there I feel like they put some sort of mojo on it or something because it's not the same here as it is there. And it's got a very unique flavor to it. It's very red. Looks like, you know, something fun, but it packs a punch. It does, no pun
Okay.
intended or pun intended. I don't know if that was funny than a pun was intended.
Now, were you in New Orleans during Mardi Gras?
No, I never went to that because that's I've been to New Orleans a few times and I really like just sort of hanging out and acting like I live there and just like strolling through and like the French market back in the day, but I've never been back since Katrina. Um
Okay.
yeah, so it's been a long time and I hear there's been a lot of changes. But Mardi Gras is very smothery to me, that idea.
Mhm.
So that's not for me.
I've not been during Mardi Gras. And I think it would just be a little too crazy. I'm like an in bed by 9:30 kind of gal. I'm not into the party scene anymore, so don't think I
Yeah.
would enjoy that so much, but I would like to go back just to try a hurricane.
Well, yeah, it is good. And I couldn't do it now because it's like a big glass, like like the glass, like
Oh,
the
wow.
the curvy glass. Yeah.
The
It's
whole
like
thing, huh?
yeah, it's like that. But there's a lot of traditions and things in New Orleans that I find very interesting. Anyway, I'm going to digress too much if I go into foods and such. But anyway, people either love or hate New Orleans, and I loved it back in the day. I don't know now, but I did love it back in the day. I was trying to think of other questions here. Hey, have you ever had anything like funny or weird happen besides just
Mm,
being over intoxicated? Did you ever have something happen?
funny or weird? Hmm, hmm, hmm. Yeah, I really can't think of anything, I mean, besides the normal, you get the giggles and you just start laughing about things that are absolutely not funny. That's really the extent of it. But I hear
Well,
a story.
I do have something there. Um, Again, back when I was young and reckless, um, I did drink too much one time, and I had recently had my nose pierced, and I just had the poke through. I didn't have any connection. I didn't have the hoop, and that thing came out in the toilet, and that was that. Because by the
Oh,
next morning, it grew up. That was that.
oh no.
That was that.
What a waste.
Yeah. I know. Silly, huh?
Did you get the piercing when you were drunk or were you sober when you got it?
No, I was sober. I was trying to remember how long. I might have had it a couple years. Excuse me. But
Okay.
yeah, that was that. So I didn't get it done again. It's just
Oh,
yeah.
what a sad day. I think nose rings are really cute. So,
I do too. I do too. I've actually toyed with the idea of redoing that, but I don't really like to go backwards. I had piercings. I had facial piercings a million years ago, and it was just kind of my thing then. I don't
yeah.
know that I would do that again. Um, oh, you said before that you didn't like bourbon. Did you ever have a mixed drink that was just disgusting? Because those are
I've
kind of
had a,
concoctions, right? Like I like the
I've had
hurricane,
a,
but what's a gross one?
a lot of mixed drinks that I thought were disgusting.
Hmm.
Um, Most of them, really. I'm not a huge mixed drink fan. I just really, if I'm going to do a mixed drink, I stick with my tequilas,
Hmm.
and really that all boils down to margaritas. And that's kind of where I sit. I've tried some different things. But when I was younger, I like to try some different things.
Hmm.
Um, hmm, I can't think of anything terribly, terribly gross, but I can tell you the opposite, one that I don't even know what I was drinking. It was a drink that they set on fire. It was in a shot glass.
Stop. Finish your thought because you're finishing mine.
They set it on fire, and I'm assuming it had some type of Kahlua or something in it. When you drank it, it tasted like chocolate milk.
Okay, I don't know what that was, but my worst one is called a flaming Dr. Pepper. And
Oh, did they set it on fire?
they set it on fire. So that was funny that you said that. Yeah, that's one
So
of the worst things.
interesting.
So I tried that. Somebody at a bar ordered this for me because that's supposed to be cute. And back in the day, and it's you set it on fire and you drop it in a beer. Well, I hated beer. And so then you're supposed to chug it because it fizzes really, really fast. And it
Oh.
just made me feel gross. And it's supposed to give, it's like a liqueur or something. It's supposed to give a taste of a Dr. Pepper. Well, I don't even like Dr. Peppers. So I like to smell a Dr. Pepper. I do
Uh-huh.
like to smell a Dr. Pepper. But yeah,
Uh-huh.
that was gross to me and it was just yuck. And it was I did not like that. Yeah,
Have you
I
ever had
didn't
a
like that.
martini?
I don't think so. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
It's a little dainty.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. Not into it. Not into
Yeah.
it at all.
Um, oh, what was it I was gonna say about the flaming thing when you said that was the worst? I had a oh gosh, I had another thought about that and now I can't remember what it was, but hmm, I don't know. When you said that I was like, oh, and it made me lose all train of thought, but that's funny. Yeah, I don't think you should just mix just anything.
Mhm.
Not really interested in doing that, but
Nope.
um okay, here's the last one
All
question for
right.
me. So what was your worst experience with alcohol that maybe like we talked about didn't go so well, like my New Orleans trip? Did you have a
Yeah. All right, let me think. Um, oh, I got drunk at a Halloween party one time. Um, yeah, that was pretty rough. And so I'm in full costume, tripping all over my stuff. I just need to get home, get me home. Trying not to puke in front of everybody because, and this is many, many, many years ago. I was very young. Um, I did make it home and I laid in my bed and everything's spinning. I mean, you just can't get things to stop. Um, I just turned my head to the side and puked up the wall,
oh my gosh.
straight up the wall. It was it was the worst. I couldn't get
Uh
to the bathroom. I just thought, well, gonna have to clean that tomorrow. How disgusting is that?
oh my gosh. Well, there's nothing like getting sick like that and knowing you brought it upon yourself. You know what I mean? You didn't have a stomach bug. You literally
No.
this is the quote unquote fun that you set out to have. Like, I could
Yep.
totally preach all the reasons not to overdrink. And I can sit here now with all those years behind me and tell these stories, but I'm like, this is not anything I miss because I had some
Oh.
bad experiences. And
Mhm.
yeah, the getting sick and all that, that's until you've experienced that, you don't know just how miserable and how easily that can happen. I was out of town on a trip really young and was given very, very strong alcohol, Everclear. Have you ever had Everclear?
Oh, no.
Don't ever do that. Don't ever.
Never have
Don't
ever clear.
ever.
Got it.
Yeah, it's like a grain, like a little, like a golden grain or something. Anyway,
Mm.
but you mix it with Kool-Aid and it's not so bad. But to a young girl that had no business drinking like that, the alcohol, the strength of the alcohol didn't really, I couldn't really taste that. So it could have been 50 proof or 190 proof.
Had no idea.
Yeah.
Mm.
And so, the hand of God on me, bless this poor girl making bad decisions, because the whole story of that could have been really, really bad.
Mm.
But yeah, it's thankfully I was surrounded by people who had my best interests at heart, and because you can be almost absent from yourself,
Mhm.
um, and that's not a good place to be. And when you're not, can't get your head clear, like you can't snap out of that heavy intoxication.
Right.
There's no snapping out of that. So I think that's the old school hunch punch. Have you ever heard of back in the day hunch punch?
I have heard hunch punch.
I don't think that's that, but I did not. That was probably my first drink, was too much drink.
Ugh,
So wouldn't wish those kind of things on anybody, and everybody who's waiting to turn the age so they can have all the things. Be careful. Don't.
yep, yep.
No, no, no.
Good luck with that.
Yeah.
Well, you know what we just did?
What did we just do?
We just talked about a future episode. We're gonna have to do one on New Orleans.
That would be good. That would be
There's
fun.
a lot of things
Oh,
to talk about.
yeah. Yeah, we need to do that. That would be an interesting one. And there's a lot of stuff there. Um, yeah, we need to do that. And you know what I was gonna say before we go? I was gonna say, to me, coffee at 49, coffee is the new alcohol for me, because I can try different kinds and, different flavors, and I'm gonna be okay. Nobody's gonna have to take care of me with an espresso,
That's right.
or I've
That's
not had
right.
that kind of espresso. If you got that at your store now, hook me up.
That's
We'll
right.
see. But so far, coffee's no danger to me. And I think we need to do an episode on coffee and meet
I
at our
think we should.
place. We
You know,
have
you and I,
we got a spot.
yeah, you and I, that's our guilty
Yep,
pleasures. We meet for coffee once a week and yeah, it is
that's it.
fantastic. So we should absolutely hit it
Yeah,
up, maybe do a little on location thing. That'd be fun.
I love it. And so now we've got 2 episodes. We usually come
Yep.
up with one during the
Yeah.
episode. Yeah. This has been a lot
Mhm.
of fun. Been very interesting.
Yeah. So, you know what? Talk to us out there, folks. You know, if you have a drinking story, we want to hear it. But yeah, we promise we're coming back. We'll probably do some coffee and some New Orleans, but we have a lot of great stuff planned. So be sure to join us back next week and we'll have something all brand new for you.